Hey everybody, this is my video on how to refill an electronic cigarette cartridge. I've had this one for about 3 months. I've refilled it 3 times and this will be my 4th time refilling, and I decided to videotape it. Now, this one is that I've refilled 3 times is now completely well, pretty much. Not enough vapor. And not only that, you get that burnt feeling in your throat and the back of your mouth. And that's how you know it's empty. You can almost taste the burning atomizer, which is a great indication that your vapor is empty. And I have here a fluid that I put together that you put in here, and it feels quite nicely. Now, what's in this fluid is a couple of different things. You got propylene glycol. Doesn't really matter the brand. It's a big bottle, 500 milliliters for about $8. And bottle of glycerin. Yep. Glycerin. Now, some people use vegetable glycerin, but the only place I could find vegetable glycerin was in a water flavoring that was had an oil-based flavoring in it. And if you know your science of the e-cigarette cartridge, you already know that an oil-based flavoring will get caught in the atomizer and clog it. Now, and glycerin is pretty much the same thing. It's almost no difference. It doesn't matter at all. Now, there's a lot of controversy over the measurements of the fluids that you put into your fluid for refilling your e-cigarette cartridge. I have found what really works is 20% water and 80% glycerin. That's the one that I found on the internet that works. However, because glycerin gives you much less for pretty much the same price. This one was $7. I put in propylene glycol as well to extend how far this will go. This will give you a better vapor, but it doesn't carry flavor as much as if you're a person who likes to have flavor in their vapor. This one is great with carrying the flavor, but not so much the vapor, so put them together and it works quite nice. So, in this bottle is 60 milliliters, so 20% water, and you want to make sure that your water is distilled. No tap water, no anything like that. You want clean, distilled water. Otherwise, you're going to be putting your stuff in your lungs that should not be there. So, in this particular bottle, I put 12 milliliters of distilled water. That would make up for the 20%. 24 milliliters of propylene glycol and 24 milliliters of glycerin. And that made quite a nice formula. It's anyways, now I'll get to showing you how to refill it. Let me just adjust my camera here so you can see me working on my desk. Just put it there. Alright, perfect. Alright, got that. Now, right here is a new cartridge. Now, when you get a new cartridge, you have 2 rubber tips on each end. One has a tip in the center, which was originally poking into one of the holes. That one you want to throw away. You don't want that one. The one you want to keep is the one that looks like pretty much like a cup. There's no tip in the center there. It's a cup basically. So you use that. Empty cartridge. Now, there's also a lot of controversy about how much you put in there. It all winds up depending on how empty your cartridge is. Some people define it by how many drops you put in, but honestly, each dropper is different. How can you tell? Now, because mine's completely empty, I'm going to fill this pretty close to the top. I think right about there will do. Think you can see how much is in there? Well, not so bad. Alright. Then you take your cartridge, and you want to make sure this end goes in there first. Not this end. This end is pointing up at you the whole time. This end goes in. So, you push that in there. Okay. And ever so gently force it down. Now I'm coming across a small issue. See, the thing is, when your cartridge comes, it has this black plastic cover on it that just makes it look nice and makes it a bit thicker, I guess. Whenever I'm thinking or nervous, I fidget and I end up peeling the sticker off. So as you can see, this one is silver. It's metal on beyond the sticker. And because of peeling that sticker, it's not quite thick enough to create a perfect tight seal on it. So some of it is seeping out the sides of the cup, but I don't think that'll cause too much trouble. Just gonna keep pushing. Do it very slowly until you get to the bottom. I just squeeze that in there a little bit to get as much as I can in there. Pull her out. Alright, now you gotta get some toilet paper or napkin or paper towel, whatever you prefer. You gotta wipe her off. It's covered in stuff that you don't want to get onto the battery. That would not be good for the battery. So you just clean her up there. If your cartridge is already remotely full and you put too much in there, it'll start to come out this end. That's okay. You just take your napkin and you poke it in there and absorb what you can. So then you want to let this sit for a little bit. So we're just gonna place that there and let it sit. Maybe even, yeah, that'll be better. Let it drain down. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean out my cup for future use. Oh, and I live in Canada, so I guess this would be for a nicotine-free cartridge, because nicotine cartridges are banned in Canada. And besides, I wouldn't want to smoke a nicotine one anyways. When you're putting this formula together, whether you put 30% water or whatever the heck you prefer, you want to make sure that when you mix it all together, you mix it up and you let it sit for a few hours, maybe even a day, to let it really mix together. Otherwise, it won't work as well. Alright, I think that'll be ready to give a demonstration on how well this formula works. Alright. There we go. There, see? That's a lot more vapor than usual. Yeah, it's a very good mixture. Unfortunately, after you refill your cartridge 3 or 4 times, the atomizer will start to get burnt onto the bottom. As you can see in this cartridge that I ripped apart and emptied, you can see on the bottom there that the atomizer is burnt to the bottom. So eventually you're going to burn it, and then you're going to start breathing in burnt cotton and whatever this atomizer is made of. You don't really want that in your lungs. And you can pretty much tell when that's happening. You get that burnt taste or feeling in your throat, so it's not that hard to miss. Well, there you go. Hope it works for you too. See ya.